I found out my boyfriend cheated on me. With a man. For substances. Backstory: my boyfriend, male 21, and I, female 21, had been dating for a year and 3 months. During this time, we became very bonded very quickly and spent almost every day together. During our relationship, we discussed his past with substances. He was never addicted, he just liked to indulge occasionally. And his history of experimenting with men. None of this was a deal breaker for me, as we had talked about him not doing substances from then on. He would still do illegal substances about once every 3 months or so, which upset me, but again, not a deal breaker because I know young people like to experiment and party, and I figured he would sort this out later in life. It had been quite a while since this had happened, though, maybe 6 months? So I thought that part was over. At the moment, we were both living at my parents' house temporarily until he could afford a place to live. Story: last Sunday, my boyfriend, we will call him Will, went out for a social event with some coworkers. I was supposed to go but had to work that night, so I couldn't. They went to a place in the city I had visited a few times before, so I knew a little bit about it. One thing I knew was that they closed early on Sundays, normally around 11 p.m. Well, he texted me at 2 saying they had just left, and he was going to spend the night at his coworker's house because he was too intoxicated to drive. At that point, I knew he was lying, but there was nothing I could do from where I was. He didn't come home until 10 p.m. the next night. I asked him where he was, and he said he got food poisoning and couldn't drive. Then I asked him where he was last night after he went out with his coworkers, and he admitted that he had gone to an adult facility. I didn't really care about him going to an adult facility, but I was very unhappy that he lied to me. We talked it through, and I told him I forgave him, but I didn't want him lying to me anymore. Fast forward about 3 hours later that night. Things were still tense, and I still had a feeling he was hiding something from me. I hate being that type of girlfriend, but I couldn't help myself. I looked through his phone. There is a way to recover deleted messages on an iPhone as long as it hasn't been longer than 30 days, so that's what I did.